Hey, what's up everybody? It's John with Crippled Fox Gaming, and today I'm going to do a tutorial about how I painted this. Oh no, the door's already off the hinges. Well, that's not great. This is that large mimic from Nolzur's Magnificent minis that you primed by WizKids. How I will turn that into this. Maybe I can remember how to do this, so hopefully. It's a pretty basic color scheme. I really like it because there's a lot of those kind of colors I don't normally use. But I'm going to start out and we'll see where we end up. See how close I can get to this thing. And I think I solved my problem with the camera. And, you know, so you're not, oh, hey, here's pictures of my hands instead of what's going on the Mini. So I am going to try to find where I put this. Is here. Okay. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to do a quick base coat on the tongue itself. And this is already, these are those already primed minis, which I'm just going to say that I'm not always a fan of the pre-primed minis because a lot of times they lose a lot of definition in their, sculpts. So I'm just going to go ahead and, I've got a Deep Ocean here from Reaper Minis. Again, I use a lot of Reaper Minis, and you're going to hear me talking with a paintbrush in my mouth a lot too. So I apologize for that if any of you have misophonia, but at least I'm not, you know, chewing something, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of I'll put a base coat on this, and then I'll go do some more base coating on that while this is kind of drying. And I'm going to set that over here with my little handy dandy little fan. So let me get some water. I know a lot of people use a wet palette, but I'm doing this really quick, and I'm not doing a whole lot of blending, but it's just enough that it's, you know, this is for me and for, you know, if anybody wants a painted mimic, you know, shoot me a message and give me a price, and it's if it's less than $1 million. Yeah, we'll still talk. And hopefully I can figure out how to do music over this so it's not just you potentially hearing my dog chewing on something in the background and the fan that's in the other room. I'm sure I could probably do music right now, but then, oh hey, I think I can. Throw this on. Weird techno pop. Yeah, we'll do that. And this is off of YouTube's music, so hopefully when they hear it, they won't say, hey, you can't monetize this, because it's their music that's already on there that is downloadable and stuff for your videos. That's not a bad start, actually. And this is going to be the back, so it won't make that big of a difference if it's not absolutely perfect. So I'm going to set this over here, my little fan to dry it. And we'll go ahead and work on the back of this thing. I've got Reaper Minis paints are just my jam, I'm just going to say. And they had this triad. It was the rose triad, where it was antique rose, blushing rose, and porcelain rose. But they've got, you know, that nice trio of pinks that I think I'm going to throw that in as the back, kind of basically the back of the mouth here. I was looking up things about the anatomy of mimics, because of course I am. And it said that they're generally, they're like, they don't really have a color, or they don't really have any sort of, they're kind of like an amoeba. So they might have just some weird transparency that they can change with, you know, like those photochromatic cells like a squid does, or something weird like that, because why not? Let's make something weird and cool. It's a little pink. I might do a little bit of a wash on that. I can't remember exactly. There's my dog. And I'm going to kind of maybe blend that a little bit with what I think I'm going to use for the outside, which is kind of a greenish, grayish wood. I'm going to see if I don't knock this thing off first. Wolf gray is what I'm going to do that outside with, I think. And just so I don't forget, I'll do that. And then I've got a green that I also added to that. And I'm just going to kind of, while this is still wet, I'm going to blend this kind of together. Just to get the, and that's inside the door, so you know, it's not going to be, if you've got people picking up your minis and are judging you that you're may or may not be gaming with, and they're judging you on, it's like, oh, you didn't paint the inside of the door. Well, mister, you just step up yourself there. Good sir. Actually, I think I'm going to cake dirt with a little bit of this, because I think that might be what I based it with, is the dark wood from Secret Weapons Paints. They had a bunch of like effects based woods that I'm going to do. I'm going to mix that in a little bit with this, and I'm going to do the seat inside here that, you know, some poor unsuspecting victim has probably sat upon. And then why is it so warm and fleshy in here? Yeah, that's gross. So anyway, but again, this will probably be behind the big giant tongue, so it's not going to make all that much difference, but it is nice to kind of get something back behind if you do have to have a nice light to display your things on, or if you just want to do something different. So there's that. I'm gonna do a little bit of the teeth, since we're doing this I'm kind of doing this as fast as I can to kind of see how quickly I can do this. And I had, there is the skin triads that they have are pretty great, and so I've got, it's a golden skin, there's golden skin highlight, etc., etc. So I'm going to use that kind of down at the bottoms of the teeth to kind of that way I've got something to, that's the way I've got somewhere to go as I kind of lighten it as I go up the mouth, or up into the points of the teeth. I'm going to kind of yellow this up. And like I said, these are already pre-primed, so that's a nice, because that means they're already cured. And that was one big thing when I first started priming things, because when I was doing this when I first started, you know, nobody had sweet videos and stuff and videos. This was way back from, good grief, 79 or something like that, I think. Yeah, I've been painting that long. You think I'd get good sooner or later. They had, you know, there's these lead minis, and I'd never heard of priming. I've never heard of anything else like that. I'd only ever painted plastic minis. There, that's kind of a good start for those things, I think. Let that dry a little bit, and let's put a color on. There's kind of a nice magenta to that skin, and I'm letting that tongue dry, because I'm pretty much just going to dry brush over all of the things on that. If you can hear that fan or not. So I'm going to, again, I think this was the Royal Purple at one time from Reaper Minis. This was from the first Bones Kickstarter. And that, you know, they're up to bones 6 now. So good grief, how long ago was that? And you know, how long has this paint lasted? Well, I'm just gonna take that off since it's gonna vex me to no end. Yeah, I think that's a good, because this will also kind of get, I'm gonna kind of let that, it's not quite a wash, but it's a little bit, you'll be able to see kind of that. I talk about tinted base coat a lot because I'm a big fan of James Wapple and his techniques, and Kathy Wapple's also super good people. If you've ever been to Adepticon, they have Fort Wapple, which is in a place for people to go and hang out and paint and say, hey, what could I do different with this? And there's a lot of really good people in that in this hobby in general. There are not a lot of snooty people, which I like, because, you know, why be a gatekeeper when you can be, you know, you can show people how to do fun stuff, and then everybody wins. Sometimes this primer, I've noticed something about this, that it is slightly, darn it, slightly hydrophobic, in the sense it'll kind of, if you water your paints down too much, it might, it will pool up, or it won't stick, and it was kind of vexing. But then I think these later ones have gotten a little better. Either it's a different blend, or it's just a different, who knows how those things work. That's chemistry. That's like science and stuff, which, you know, I took up through college and then in high school, and forgot 90% of it, except for, you know, just enough that I can annoy anybody I come across. There, that's not a bad start to that base, I think. I used to have something called a paint eraser. I think it was just basically like a giant, like a soft rubber eraser, but it was in the shape of a point, and boy, you could just, you screwed something up, yoink, and off it goes. So, and if you know where to get one, shoot me a message. Get up in the DMs here, and, you know, give me a shout. So there's that. We're kind of still, my little handy palette here. I'm going to go back to the tongue because it's fairly dry. I'm going to just go from darkest to lightest, which is kind of the opposite of the tinted base coat, but this, I think, really lends itself to, because this is kind of how, because I like this hobby. It's almost kind of a little Zen, meditative kind of thing that you can get in there and just really just focus on certain little bits of it. Try brush that a little bit on there, because down here where it's got those kind of musculature, it's kind of, there we go, it's a little easier to just dry brush that on there. That way you can get it done, get it on the table, you know, first draft, last draft, get it out the door. Oh dear Jesus. I had to restart this video because I had, because as you can see, my desk is a little cluttered, maybe. Well, you can't see from here because I've strategically placed it so as not to belie that fact. But picked something up and dropped it in a pool of paint. So, you know, there's profanity, and then there's, you know, profanity that continues to orbit the earth. And that's kind of what I was... Oh, good. I'm just going to say it. Is that Surf Aqua? Surf Aqua is the second color I got on this thing. This next one is it's a Vallejo game color that I've had. I mean, you can see how old this is. It's electric blue is what it is. And I'm going to get my other, I'm going to go down a brush size, the one that's got a little better point. And I'm just going to touch the little bits of this just to get that. This is really thick. I don't know how this has stayed so thick and so viscous for so long. Is that... You know what? That's roughly... It's almost the same color as that Surf Aqua, so I might... It's a little brighter. A little lighter. Again, back of the tongue, who cares? Let's do the front. Let's get this going. Let's get this going down here on the tip. Yeah, that's roughly the same color. So I'm going to go take that because I can't really tell the difference. I'm going to do the LED blue, another Reaper paint, and I think this is a little thinner, so I think I might have some trouble dry brushing it. So I'm just going to go in and just kind of see if I can. Oh, hey, I've got this right here. Again, this is like one of those. This was like an ice blue. I don't know, but again, you know, who knows what color it is since I've had it forever. But that's going to be the high highlight. So this, let's just go. Let's see if this will work. Yeah. Again, I'm kind of using the side of the brush to kind of and I'm trying to dry it a little bit more. And I think as that kind of sits there, it'll get a little bit and I think what I'm going to do to get that kind of depth with it, I'm going to go back and do, there's like that royal purple that I tried to do a thing with, and I'm just going to go in afterwards, and I'm going to mix that with a little Lamian medium. It's a matte medium, and basically make a little wash out of it, or a little glaze, or whatever you want to call it. More of a wash, I guess, because a glaze, I think, is... See, there's all these terms and stuff that people have used that are way better than me that I just kind of go, oh, that's what this is called. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to make a bunch of little lines on this tongue. Because like I said, it's supposed to be like a pseudopod kind of a thing, but then also this is way more fun to do. Something like this. And then I'll go in with just that straight where it's almost a white. It's like a bluish, a light blue white in there. I've been noticing when I'm watching other painters paint, there's a lot of people hold their brushes a lot of different ways. I've seen people who are going in at like that, and I just, it gives me carpal tunnel just watching Like Lila Mev will sometimes paint like that when she's doing her stuff on her mini witch. Lila, Lylamaev or MEV, I think. Great instructor. I highly recommend her channel. And there's Twitch streams that I don't really watch because I don't know how that works. And there's all sorts of different ways to get this this hobby and make this hobby your hobby. I really like it. It's like I said, it's very zen. It's very meditative. You know what? I don't mind that at all. I'm gonna go in. Don't lick your brushes, kids. You get it's called pigmentia, is what that is. You lick your brush too many times, and it. If I really wanted to get, you know, super cool with this, I'd get like some PVA glue and thicken it up and get it all, you know, get this all, you know, touch a little bit here and maybe do a little bit of a piece of fishing line or something and do like a water slobbery kind of thing. But, you know, let's be real. This is absolutely for fun. I hope that music's coming through because I really kind of like it. There we go. Let's start that over. So I don't have to put it in over it. And we'll see if I can hear it. If you can hear it, you can hear it. And if not, then I will talk about it and you won't know what's going on and I won't know what's going on. Okay, I think that's about where I want to get it because it's getting pretty close to where that one was. I think it's missing a little bit of the depth, but let's go with this purple that I had. Or there is a, there we go. I think I like this better. I think that's a little bit less of a nuclear option for this blue purple. Or what do you think? Yeah, let's go with this one because I got a color on it. And I'm gonna actually add a little bit of this to it. And really don't lick the other side of your brushes too, especially when you've dipped them in some sort of weird viscous fluid. Left. I have to pick up the pace on this, or I'm going to have to go in and edit, which I'm not a fan of. Little. There we go. There. It's not bad. Yeah, that's kind of a nice, weird tongue, yeah. There, I'm gonna let that dry. Oh, dear. Oh, who's got sticky arms? This guy. Okay, so I've got about 15 minutes. Let's go with the back of this. Let's get, you know what? Nah, that's fine, I think. We'll be able to see it anyway. So let's go with, let's get these, because that back, that pink, I think is going to be just fine for the back of this mouth. Let's go with what I was just doing. Oh shoot, I should have kept that wash on there. So instead, let's go with, what's that? Okay, who's been paying attention? Which one did I use? I think that was the royal purple. So let's go with these two. Or, you know what? Let's see. There's a little bit of gray in there. There's a little bit of that blue. Ah, hey, hang on. I'll have to let it dry. Is the problem? You know what? Let's just trudge onward. Let's go with this. A little bit of this. A little bit of that. Oh boy! Wow! Someone needs to shake this paint. And that's just Warlord Purple from Game Color. I think that looks like it's roughly, oh no, oh my. Oh yes, 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 please, please and thank you. And I'm just getting, I'm gonna water this down. And I'm gonna use this, wow, that's super, boy, the pigment in this is fantastic. All right, let's get up in here. Let's get a little bit more water in that. Wow, okay, sure. Getting all Bob Ross up in here. Here's your happy little accident. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Serendipity, I'm a fan. Yeah, you know what? Huh, well, I'm not gonna, I really need to anchor this thing down. Good heavens. Let's get in there on those teeth and see what I've got. Yellowed bone and creamy ivory. How about that? And then we'll use a little bit of actual white. There is a linen white. There's also this other bone white that I've had for just decades. So I'm going to go with this. You know what? Is that? That's roughly the same as that. So stick with that linen. I'm going to bet that this is not much darker than that other white. So, or that gold highlight. It looks pretty similar. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with olive skin highlight to go around the bottoms of those teeth. Make it a little darker, make them look a little bit scummy. Even though, again, they're made of nothing but pseudopods. Why do they have teeth? Well, because it's fun, and who cares? If you've stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, because I like doing this. And if I can finally figure out, how to do this properly, and just sit back and make some of that sweet, sweet YouTube money, which is probably not a thing, but you know what? As I get ever so closer to retirement, working from home looks all that much better. If it is, I could put on a work hat and sit down and paint. I was like, this is what I'm doing. But that's not bad. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to let both of these dry. I'm going to pause this